Hello and welcome, PiotrFX here. In this episode, I would like to show you the importance of great buildings. So, which great buildings would be worth for you to place in your town, and which great buildings would be least efficient if you will place them, or is it worth to put all of them the minute we've got, first great building? Is it worth to place them? Uh, well, no, no. To be true, not all of the great buildings are great. And I'll show you first my two Iron Age towns, because if I've got in my Iron Age towns great buildings, that we can assume that I know what I'm doing. Yes, so we will then focus on why they are important. Okay, so now there are three base buildings to the fighting at the early stages of your game development. Okay, and there is an additional one which comes later on, which is okay to have, but if you don't have it, it's okay as well. The last one will be terracotta army. Terracotta army is really dear to raise because, as far as I remember, like from top of my head, it's 3,800 fort points to raise it only to the 10th level. So as you see, even though I've got, like here Iron Age, like an old town, you can say, it's still on the 16% boost to your attack, and not on the 10th level yet, where it's only 20% to your attack. Each of those fighting great buildings, like Zeus, Castel del Monte, CDM, yes, statue of Zeus and Castel del Monte, and Cathedral of Ocean, this one, all of them, those three, gives you 30%, whereas terracotta gives you only 20. And all of them as well give you defense for the attacking units, not only the attacking bonus. Yes, so here this town has 197% boost to the attack and 197 defense to the attacking units. And you can see that those are on this is 10th level of this great building, 10th level, whereas this level is only 8. Yes, so it's dear, and I'm not raising it. I'm raising Magic Castle here at the moment. I've raised a bit of a Alcatraz 80th level. I've reached on the arc, so it's, these buildings are more efficient for me. You can see Galata Tower as well here on this world. You can see on this world as well Galata Tower, and you can see as well Castel del Monte, which I will raise now after the Cathedral of Ocean. I just need to close the level of Cathedral of Ocean. And because now it's only giving me 18%, yes, on the 7th will give me 3% more. So it's really worth to let's say raise those great buildings to the 10th level, where you will reach 30% of them. Yes, plus CDM Castel del Monte will give you 40 points on top of the boost attack. Yes, to the attack, boost to the attack. So here is 3 fort points. Once I will close the level, I will have not only 21%, but as well 4 fort points out of it. And on the 10th level is 6 fort points from this great building. So yes, now here, yes, here I've got 96% boost to the attack and 93% it's a defense for the attacking unit. If you won't raise this one to be true, you will raise only this one, the attack, then automatically what's happening, you need far more of this comparing to this. Yes, you need like per ages can be even 50% more of this needed. Yes, because this is low. So at the moment, game allows to increase both of them, whereas the second one is segregated from the first one quite often. So if you have buildings, some of the buildings only allow you to raise those boost attacks simultaneously. Like here is 6% defense for the attacking units and 6% attack for the attacking units. Yes, so only some of the great buildings. But in the next year, I'm going on a bet that FOI will bring another great buildings which will merge those two attacks as well. You've got settlements to increase that boost to attack, but that's not the topic of the video. So let's focus again here on those three great buildings. Statue of Zeus, yes, or just Zeus. It's easier, quicker, and so on. Cathedral of Ocean, so COA with the first letters of the name, and CDM, Castel del Monte, castle on the mountain, I think it's, or on the hill is a translation. And those 3 great buildings are a must, yes? So if you, let's say, planning to develop your town, I'd start from these 3 and raise them as quick as possible to the 10th level. If you can get Galata Tower, that's okay, yes, but if you don't, well, live, and that's okay as well. You know, like Galata is only to protect you from plundering, so somebody can conquer your army and, you know, like reach your town, but then when they try to plunder, they can't plunder it because of a Galata Tower, yes. And here are 4, no, at this level is only 2 attempts of the plundering with 20% of chance that they won't plunder your buildings. And the last great building, which is really worth to have, even on the first level, you really don't have to have, let's say, 10th or whatever level, it's Temple of Relics, this great building. And why it's important? Because you can get 100 forge points out of it. So let's see, GE from relics. Yes, those were my, since Tuesday. Okay, so I had 10 rogues 3 times out of the relics, thanks to the Temple of Relics in the last, since Tuesday, yes, since the start of the GE Guild expeditions. Phase of the Ancients, on the first level, it's really not important, but if you can have it, then there is an upgrade on the 4th level, and it gives you 3% boost to the attack and plus double the size of the enthusiasm. Yeah, so it's worth to have them as well. Gate of the Sun is not for the boost to attack, but it's defense for the attacking units, and we will have it here, probably here, and it's a 4% defense for the attacking unit, and again it will boost your enthusiasm ×2 on this building, so that's worth to have as well if you can get the upgrade from the 4th level of the G, of course, and I get them 2. Now 5 times soldiers, 2 blueprints 1 time, 100 forge points, as you see, thanks to the Temple of Relics. I even on the first level I get 100 forge points, so yay, happy days. 20 forge points ×1 and 5 times ballistas, which I'm using permanently to fight, so that's a-okay as well, yes. So even on the first level, you really don't have to raise it higher than that, it will be okay. So you've got great buildings which are really crucial to your town if you really care about the development of the performance. And now what next? Alcatraz, to be true, it is a great building if you can raise it to at least 20th or 30th level. If no, unfortunately, it's a bad great building if you don't need an enthusiasm in your town, which here I'm producing 4,550, and I've got additional happiness 10,000, so I could literally delete it and it will be fine as well. How I'm basing my fighting is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ballistas in town. Okay, if you don't have, then unfortunately you'll struggle with fighting. So I'm on the 17th place. I've made 255 fights, as you see. And I've made 3 levels of fighting in the guild expeditions, which I finished. Yes, so with 8 of them, and with this Alcatraz, which is like 1 more of them, let's say, so 9 ballistas, I'm able to do so many fights. Okay, and as well here we can see that in this town where I've showed you, that's a B Brisgard on the Polish server. My Alcatraz is on the 24th level and it's producing 22 units. So I can afford only to have 2 of them, or even 1 would do, yes? And I can still finish off with only fighting here GE. And I've made, how many fights did I make? Because I've got no idea, to be true, how many fights I've done in the GBG. I'm far away. It's even less. It's only 182 fights, and most of the time I haven't done more because I literally run out of army. So you see, so I told you it need to be at least the 30th level. That's why I've got blueprints now 24 on 30th. Yes, and I've seen that something pop out as well. So yeah, I can raise even five levels more, so that's good. So after dealing with Magic Castle, probably what I'll focus will be Cape Canaveral and the Alcatraz. And Cape Canaveral is a great building, but if you can participate in the GBG, I would not raise it straight away. So what other, let's say, first tier of the great buildings would be Zeus, Cathedral of Ocean, Castel del Monte, okay? And if you have to for the guild, it's an arc, the arc, yes? Then once you have them, meanwhile, you can do guild expeditions, you can buy goods. If you can't afford on building your own town the way that you're producing goods, you can buy these goods, and that will be even more efficient than if you would produce them, to be true. If you can get them for free, 40 points per 100 goods, then that's awesome, because that's the price on Polish servers. I'm not aware of the prices on other United States servers. I've got no idea, but if it's too dear, I would neglect it. I would just produce as much as I can, and you need 200 goods per day to be true to finish GE with only your goods. If you don't have 200 goods of each kind per day, then you'll be struggling big time to, let's say, to finish GE and do some GBG and build a town or whatever, yes, buy some goods for additional great buildings. So 200 goods is your goal of your present era goods, and that's 10 buildings of 10 goods per day, 20 goods per day, or 3 times if you can afford production of 10 goods 3 times a day. That's 24 hours, because that's 8 hours times 3, and that's producing you 30 goods, then not 20 on 24 hours. Yes, so that's more efficient. So then you need, let's say, 7 of those if you can collect on time, or 8 or 9 if you can't collect on time, and you can afford to run them on 8-hour production cycle. Now, I don't produce goods here, almost not at all. I still produce like 41 goods and I'm still finishing G because I can convert them with a fighting. Whereas here, yes, that's the United States one, US one, yes, and I'm producing 41 goods, and I've got only 96 of the attack, yes. That's why I can produce, you know, like a lot of fighting power, you can say, but not to complete G. So I still need a bit of a goods, yes. So how I get goods to finish off the GE? Well, I get these goods from the GBG. And if you would check only since last Tuesday, okay, I did get in the GBG 50 iron times 2, so 100 good extra. Since Tuesday, 50 lime times 2, 50 ebony times 4, and 50 cloths times 4. So I've got 200, 400, yes, 100, yes, 400, 500, 600 goods since Tuesday extra, and I'm not willing to build any buildings to give me goods. On top of that, my town is producing those goods, of course, as well, so that's enough. I've got always enough goods. Plus, I've got some goods here. No, not, you don't get goods from the relics, but you do get goods as well from the GE when you participate. I can't show you that. Maybe it is somewhere, but I can't show you. I did get some goods as well from it. So this way I'm able to complete GE, and only guild is helping me to swap these goods on the lower era so that I can afford to do a 4th level with it. And in the next few weeks, let's say, it will be least. Here, as you see, 15, that's a good building, slate builder. That's giving you 15 goods from only 6 squares, yes. So yeah, so if you're lucky in the events, or you're just doing a lot of events, if you do settlements, if you do everything, you'll get goods as well, because then later, look, in the town like this, that's a virtual future, and even if I don't like my town is producing not the statistics, not the very statistics, so we need those statistics here. So this town will produce you, look, 449 fort points per day and 375 goods from your era. Yes, no problem. So you'll get, with the higher areas, you'll get a lot of space to do it, but in the small areas, you don't. So that's why developing those great buildings is crucial. So again, 3 great buildings for the attack are crucial, and the Temple of Relics. Next great building, which I would build, yes, it's my opinion, all the artillery requires supplies, all of them. So my next great building, if I can't afford to build from town, would be Himeji Castle. That's why you can see on the Brisgard here is a Himeji Castle as well, which producing me 108,900 supplies per day. Yes, so then I've got 1, 2 now add-on camps, 3 camps, and yeah, they use 580 yes supplies. So 1, I can see the 4th one because I know I've got 4 of them. So I've got 1, 2 now new ones which I'm building, 3, and there is somewhere 1 more of them as well. I'm 100% sure I've got 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3. Here is a 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. You see, 4 of them and 4 of heavy units as well. So 8 camps, yes. What would be the next one? I would say that after tier 1, it's totally up to you, to be true. Arc is crucial. If you don't have an arc, you don't help build, you don't help yourself, you don't get more medals, you don't get more of everything, of forge points. I'll give you the example on A here, why arc. Okay, so okay, so here it would take me some hassle to put in here 1, 2. These are taken places. Turbo 3, 4. Okay, we can put 4th place. So let's say I'm putting here on the 4th place. And now I need to go out from the thread. You need to re-enter it. Mark that it's clear here so that next person can put another great building. And then look, we put 48 forge points, okay? And the basic return is 25 forge points. Those additional 23 comes from the arc, okay? So now if I will put 48, this will change to blue. And as well, you see it's showing 10 blueprints. And on the left side, you can see that it's only 5 blueprints, and the other 5 are +5 on the right-hand side. So with the arc, I'm doubling the amount of blueprints. I'm almost doubling the amount of medals on the right-hand side. You can see where this piggy is, and +23 forge points as well from the arc. Yes, because my arc. It's a shame I can't show you the big inserts. My arc has a return of 90.8, so it's 88th level, yes, and gives 178 goods to the treasury. Unfortunately, I don't see anybody here with a higher that I could. Maybe, you know what I can do? I can just go to my friends. And you see that's profit. That's showing that if I would put on the first place, here's 5 forge points profit. If I would just dump my forge points, yes, here on the first place. So I've got a profit, and higher it goes. Let's say, let's go to Jordan. Jordan would have, here 47, let's say. Here I would have a 7 forge points profit, okay? And on other of his great buildings, like 138 level, here I would have 21 forge points of profit, yes? Just because you've got above 80th level, and over there is a gain, but even if you gain, you know, like a bit of it because you can afford to raise it on the 10th level, that's okay still. And so Arc is this tier 1, tier 2 great building. So then you can just literally have more proficient town, yes? What else? And I would say that pretty much everything. You don't need more than that is. Rest of the great buildings are less efficient. So if you will be placing them, these great buildings will just literally help you out, but you might lose on them. So I would say that I can only show you great buildings, which are just great buildings, which are not worth to place in your town, okay? So there are a few of them. Like, okay, Colosseum is the worst you can get out of all. Notre Dame is as well. Daddy is recording, don't disturb, please. Oh yes, sorry, son. Now, St. Mary's Basilica, to be true, this was great building before. It's occupying 6 by 6. This giving you boost to the coins, but as you see, I've got 1.5 million coins and it's raising. It's, if you don't buy forge points for coins, then it's not worth to build this building. It's giving you 10 goods, which is not a lot, to be true, and you can get it easily from GBG or GE. So why, you know, why? And when you raise Himeji Castle on the 10th level, you get from Himeji Castle, I think, as well goods. Yeah, you get, and we can check. It's here is a 50th level, so it will be like awesome amount. No, not this statistics, these statistics. Okay, and no, here, that's from the Himeji Castle. From Tuesday, I received 125 goods, 50 goods only, yes, so that's 175 goods. And in the last 30 days, I received far more, 500 goods times 1. So already 250 goods times 4, and 125 goods times 10, okay, and 50 goods times 26. So that 10 times that's 500 goods, 20 that's 1,000 goods, and times 6 that's 300. So it's 1,300 goods. Yes. So you see, so on the large level, of course, you get go. Okay, I need to pause. Sorry. So you see, you can get a lot of, sorry for that, actually. Sorry for that. So you see, you can get a lot of goods from it. But let's see towns which have, let's say, smaller levels, like here, 11th only level of Himeji Castle. Yes. So Himeji Castle can give you again goods, but not that many, of course. Yes, because of course it's a small level. So I only receive 100 goods from it here because it's 50 times 2. 125 goods I've received once, yes, and I didn't receive more than that. And next, for the last month, yes, for the last month, I received 50 goods times 6, so that's 300 goods. And 200 forge points, 50 diamonds, 10 rogues, 125 goods times 1, yes? So you see, so it's varies from week to week. Now here on this is which level it is, because that's important. That's 11th as well. Okay, that's 11th as well level. And since Tuesday, yes, since Tuesday, spoils of war, that's what we're interested in Himeji Castle. 250 goods times 1, 50 goods times 1. That's it, yes. And in the last 30 days, I received 250 goods times 1, 125 goods times 2, 50 goods times 6, so that 300. You see, so it's very, you can say, but it is nice added on for sure. Here is a 12th level, yes, of Himeji Castle. Spoils of war. Since Tuesday, 50 goods times 2. That's us. This month, no, last 30 days, sorry, spoils of war. So 200 forge points times 1, 250 goods times 1, 125 goods times 3, 50 goods times 10, so 500, yes? So you see, so it's worth to have this Himeji Castle and raise it to the about 10th level. It is dear again. Again, you spend about 3,800 or 4,000 forge points as well. Here is a bit higher level, but on the 16th level, I will have 6th attempt. Yes, so I'm raising it on the towns. But again, it's still low levels comparing to the big town. Spoils of war in the Magic Castle. So since Tuesday, I receive 125 goods times 1, 50 goods times 2, so that's 100 goods. That's it. And for the last 30 days, yeah, 240 points times 2, you see, already, because it's a bit higher level, not a lot, but it is. And 500 goods, you see, already happens twice, yes. 125 goods, 3 times, you see. 50 goods times 6, yes. So that's what I'm saying. Raise it to the 10th, sacrifice yourself, raise arc to the 10th, raise those attack great buildings, and then think about any other great buildings. So to sum up, Zeus, Cathedral of Ocean, and CDM are your tier 1, and if you participate in the GE, don't worry about this one, just participate in the GE Guild Expeditions and you'll get this great building anyway, because you get blueprints from Guild Expeditions. Tier 2 or tier 1 great building, depend on the guild requirements, is the Ark, and I'd say tier 3 is Himeji Castle, yes. Then it is worth to put Alcatraz. I could put Alcatraz only because guild gave me goods for free, so that's awesome. Thank you. Yes, thank you. That's awesome. Otherwise, I would not place it. I would put Himeji Castle to get more rewards. But I knew I won't be raising Himeji Castle, and I didn't need supplies, so it was no point for me to place it anyway. So I said, I'll get those few army troops. I'll get enough enthusiasm and so on. So then I can gradually raise it up to the 10th level where there is 8 troops. So that would be about 2 of them. So that make more sense. And then gradually I will grab more and more blueprints for it, and I will raise to the 20th where I can complete all GE with it. So that's my point of view, yes. But I'd say that if the guild wouldn't help me, for sure I would not build it, yes. And to the list of those unwanted great buildings, Lighthouse of Alexandria. I've got it here, yes, because it's giving me 8 goods. I don't use the supply bonus because I've got too many supplies out of those only 2 great buildings. So it's least efficient great building. I've put it because I knew I will use those goods and I had a space for it, yes, so I was able to do it. On that time I was producing as well supplies, so it was a bonus for me, 60% to the production of supplies because I didn't have Himeji Castle. So it did make sense. And the rest of the great buildings I would literally neglect, yes, I would literally neglect. It's Chateau Frontenac. This is a good great building if you do repetitive tasks. Here you see spend X amount of forge points, 53 forge points here. When you spend it, it's increasing your amount of rewards. So on the first level of Chateau Frontenac, you'll get 8 goods instead of 5 goods. Yes, so that's worth to have this great building, Chateau Frontenac, if you're willing to do a lot of repetitive tasks. It is worth to do them in the Iron Age. It is worth. Why? Because the repetitive tasks require only to spend 2,500 goods, no, 2,500 supplies and 2,500 coins. And if you raise that that Chateau Frontenac, oh, that's too high. Will be here. Yeah, that's 46 levels, so that's not. I don't have it here. I don't use it. I don't need it, so that's why I don't have it. Here I've got it. Wood level. Oh, ideal. That's 10th level. Okay, so on the 10th level, it's giving you 51,000 coins, yes? So if you lack of coins and you've got Chateau Frontenac, you can use these coins, or you can use these coins for the 20 of the repetitive tasks per day. So if you do 20 repetitive tasks per day, you can get some coins. I mean, yeah, coins as well. You'll get supplies, you'll get goods for most, and you'll get maybe sometimes forge points. I wouldn't count on the diamonds, but I would count on them. Sometimes blueprints, yes. So yes, so Chateau Frontenac would be like last tier as well of great buildings. Observatory. This is an alternative for those who don't want to arc and want to have goods for the guild's treasury, yes. but it's more difficult most of the time to get blueprints. If there's no events, it's really quite difficult to get. When there are even events, you'll see that observatory blueprints you can find in the event. Yes, you can really find. There will be days when there will be things, but nothing to protect your town. That's really least efficient, because the best way to protect your town is collect everything on time. And if you can't collect on time, put Galata Tower. That's it. Tower of Babel is worthless. Literally, even in the Iron Age, I don't put it. It's worthless. It only gives you 6 goods and gives you only 90 people, and it's difficult to get above 200 people out of it. You'd have to raise it really high and spend your forge points on, so it's really least efficient. Oracle of Delphi is good up to 4th level when you start the game, and I'm not saying to delete it straight away. Consider having it until your enthusiasm and supplies are efficient, then you can get it. Truce Tower is not efficient anymore. I do not recommend it. Innovation Tower is a great building if you're lack of people in town. So when you start the game and you didn't do a lot of events, yes, then you see I've got still 153. I've got eight camps of military, or yeah, 8 camps of troops. I've got 8 buildings of goods production, yeah, and I'm still 153 folks above that, yes. So we really don't need that many houses here. And yes, the space taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. So that's 10 houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 15 houses here. 16, 17, 18. Yes, 18 houses. So 18 houses times 4. 72 plus the road for them, yes, so that's more than 36 squares from Inno Tower, yes. That I agree on that, yes, but again, if there will be next events, I will again replace them. I just replaced 1, 2, 3 of them, so you see, so I could do it no problem, yes. Again, I've got Tribal Square, which gives me 202 folks, yes. So I'm getting there. It will be 0 houses after some time, only event buildings and settlement buildings, yes. So if you can avoid really those Inno towers and wait for the events and overcome this obstacle of having, you know, like a lot of houses this way, then I would recommend you to do so. If you are in the higher eras, and you didn't do a lot of events and you don't want to wait and you need those people, then yeah, Inno Tower would be a good solution. But again, you need goods, you need blueprints, yes, so that's not. None of those great buildings which you see here, apart from the Alcatraz and Terracotta, are good buildings. Blue Galaxy is good, but it's least for you at the start. It's Blue Galaxy is doubling your collection, and believe me, it can double even on a 10th level. It's nicely doubling. So if you've got a lot of event buildings, if you've got terrace farms, like I've got about 10 terrace farms on some of the world, or 12 of them, then it's really nice to double those profits from those buildings, and it's worth to put, but it's again not on the early stage. Kraken is a great building, but it's, you know, like at least as well to build, because it's giving you opportunity to kill 1 unit and in the first strike, and then again it's giving you forge points. Yes, it's really dear to raise as well, by the way, so if you can avoid building it, that's okay. Seed Vault, never build it. I built it on 1 world and I would delete it. And the rest of the buildings you see, they are worthless. Space Carrier is a great building, but again, it's a great building which I've got only on 1 world, and this one here, and that's the same as Himaji Castle rewards, but gives you special goods which are produced from Arctic Future onward. Those Promet and Orihalcum, or Orihalcum, I don't know how we call it in English actually. Those 2 special, you can produce them in the boats here. Boats will bring you them, terminals. And this is producing that, so I need that great building for that reason. If I would negotiate, because that's for negotiation, not for fighting. Himeji Castle from fight gives you the goods and other, you know, rewards, forge points, whereas this is from negotiating. Yes, but again, it's really dear because it's from asteroid belt, so it's era, so it's really dear. And that's everything about the great buildings, I'd say. If you need any further explanation on great buildings, you can ask me. Virgo is a good when you can afford it. Because that's why the first wave of the army, which is attacking you, but you've got only 3 attempts, keep it in mind. Yes, so it's no wow at the start. That's again last of those great buildings you build. And Cape Canaveral, you see it's on the 63 level and it's producing 63 forge points. So that's why I said in the first year it's not worth, but then again in the next years, if you will build an additional of them, then it's a-okay. Galata Tower, it's nice, as I think, and Tropical, that's I don't know what's the name for this great building. Maybe I have it on the A world, maybe by some luck I got it. Space, don't know, I won't be guessing the name. I will try to find it for you. Virgo Stargazer, okay, Stargazer it's called. So what it does is producing you goods from previous era. Yes, so at certain stage you might need goods from previous era sooner or later. So there are 2 choices of getting them. Yes, you can leave some production from previous buildings when you're upgrading to the new era, and then just leave these buildings, either production of goods or event buildings or settlement. Yes. You can leave them and then they will produce, or you can just, like for instance, to unlock the GE from your era, goods are needed and from previous era, or you can have Stargazer. But again, it's a dear great building, and I would say forget about it and don't really build it. Yes, if possible. So that's it. That's everything about great buildings. Please leave me a comment if you need any additional information about them. I wouldn't say there is anything to add. To be true, there is everything covered about them. I gave you the priority list as well, which build first, which next, and which to avoid. So thanks for watching, and I don't know yet what I'll do in the next video, but for sure it will happen in the next week. So keep your eyes on the channel if you want to learn more about Forge of Empires. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Ta-da!